What is the Lerix stuff? Lerix is accused of being a Roricon. Maybe we'll just see into Lerix stuff first then. Pretty sure Jessica did a stream defending Lerix. Well, I'm probably going to be defending Lerix as well, because I think this looks kind of retarded from what I've seen so far. So what have I been seeing about this? Where's the tweet I had open? Here it is. So Lerix has been previously accused of being a Roricon, liking some suspect anime. And these allegations have flared up again. I've seen this tweet floating around the last day or so from LeroySomething here. Lerix even admits that the video series is sexualized with minor characters in the series. This is a big tell. I watched his full review. It seems like this that made me question why the fuck Lerix is even watching this, yet alone reviewing it for YouTube content. This is clearly worse than Tipster. It's got a screenshot here of some anime where she's saying all girls my age love dicks. Okay, kind of. Yeah, this looks like a kind of lolly anime situation. But here's the thing, right? Immediately, I'm seeing this is called Eromanga Sensei, and I'm pretty sure this is like a show that is like ecchi at worst. So I just don't really know how much I even care, like, at all. It's not even like it's lolly, you know, full on P word, is it? There's no sex going on here. There's no fucking. It's just sort of like vaguely sexualized jokes. From what I know, he was accused in the past of liking lolly images. So what were the tipster accusations? Because this is sort of, it feels like this is hinging on you knowing what the fuck happened with Tipster. Well, is this, I guess this is Jessica Pizzle. I mean, just like, who cares? This is the thing, right? Like, Food Shops was much worse than this, and I didn't even really care about Food Shops. I just thought it was kind of funny that they admit to it, but that's a different situation even, because Food Shops was talking about it being in like her top 3 porn categories, right? Lerix just, you know, every guy who was like, you know, I imagine, how old is Lerix now? He seems like around 20 or something. I imagine this was a couple years ago. Any guy who was like sort of a massive weeb in like their teenage years has probably seen at least one show that was somewhat like this. I would imagine. It was at least close to this in some way. I don't think everyone that was into anime as a teenager is a pedophile. Eromanga Sensei is an anime with mature themes, including a shut-in girl who draws lewd erotica. Yeah, so it's a show about sort of like teenagers who draw hentai comics, I guess. That's the sense I get from it anyway. I think that's what Kenny told me last night as well. Of course, I trust Kenny on all issues of lolly and furry content. So anyway, we've got the review that Lerix made of this show. I mean, I guess we'll just watch it. See, is Lerix seeming like a pedophile? Are we getting pedophiles? All of the Jesus. Okay. So let's just watch this review here.
Anime and manga I've watched or read so far in my life, I've yet to experience one with such high highs and such low lows to the extent that I did when I watched Eromanga Sensei. This anime tackles some of the most interesting topics I've ever seen before, and yes, I know you're all looking at me crazy for that statement. What could an anime like this cover anything?
Okay, yeah. So this is a little bit cringe. This is a little bit cringe. I'm cringing a little bit. I'm struggling. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. He doesn't seem like a pedophile though. This isn't seeming pedophilic.
But surface level shit. But just trust me for now. I'll explain. However, though, being the biggest complaint for the show, it's extremely hard to nearly impossible to look over the amount of sus shit like this.
There you go. He's saying it's hard to look over the sus stuff. He's criticizing the pedophilia. He doesn't seem to really enjoy the pedophilia. Come on now, guys. This isn't exactly the Misty or Cuties review so far, is it? Let's be real. It's not the most daring piece of content I've ever seen. Jesus.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
The show involves
Jesus.
just underage girls and just straight up borderline pedo type shit, dude. Like, I really want to be charitable and generous to the author when
I mean, he's criticizing it. Wait, what's the problem? He's criticizing it. He's saying it's bad. He's saying you shouldn't do pedo stuff.
watch some of these scenes and give him the benefit of the doubt that he isn't some weird guy. Especially because I do know that Japan culture is way different from the US, but even when I'm trying to overlook this shit, a scene like this pops up and I can't defend this motherfucker anymore. And it would be one thing if it was just pointless fan service, right? But sometimes it's literally just part of the plot, like how Sagiri needs to see these underage girls' panties to take her drawing to the next level for the illustration of the next story. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Regardless though, I wanted to take a deep dive into how Eromanga Sensei had some of the biggest potential that I've seen so far, but just get completely destroyed by the insane fan service that's impossible to overlook.
This anime I'm introducing you to as bad guys, don't watch it. I just, first take, it's not an issue of being dumb, I just don't care about the fucking vaguely sexualized kids in some anime. I could not care any fucking less, bro. You care, I don't. I just don't watch it. It really is that easy. I know it's crazy.
Look.
Send me your dick pics.
So first, Eromanga Sensei is a story about this dude who's 16 and his stepsister who's 13. Already a bad start. But this is Masamune and Sagiri.
This is just hyper ecchi / semi hentai. Okay. I don't even think it's hyper ecchi, okay? One second. I think I've seen like one ecchi show in my life. I think I watched it when I was like 16, and it was Infinite Stratos. And that was like way more than this. That went way further. What did we have in that? I can't even find it. Guys, listen, you just have to trust me. That was crazy. That show was nuts with the nudity and shit. There's no fish tank yet, no, we haven't done that yet. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is not like hyper ecchi stuff. It's like, you know, it's sexual for sure. I would probably joke around and call someone a pedophile for it. You know, if someone wants to take the piss out of Lerix and go, hey, but are you like a pedophile, bro? Don't you watch like girl porn? Like, so, you know, if you want to take the piss out of him for it, because it is a kind of, you know, to make a whole review about this show, it's like, really, you care that much about this show? All right, dude. I think that's funny. But if you're gonna seriously accuse someone of being a pedophile for watching something like this, or for making this review, you're like fucking retarded. You're like majorly retarded. You're going to be calling like so many people pedophiles. It becomes useless, right? Everyone's watched a show that is somewhat like this, that has been into anime for a long enough time. I think there was a debate on Jessica's stream with one of the people accusing Lerix. And also, that he's like I say, he's saying bad things about it. He's saying the sexualization is bad. The sexualization of kids in the show is bad. I don't enjoy it. Like I say, it's not the Cuties review, is it? It's fucking lame, if anything. This guy, Lerix should have gone harder. He should have said he liked the child sexualization elements. That's what I do when I talk about Leon the Professional. It's funny. He could have been the Mr. Girl of anime. Exactly. This is what I'm saying, dude. People need to look for more opportunities to defend the sexualization of children in media. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, that was a great time. I haven't said it yet. So like, sub, donate, buy a membership, gift a membership, buy a super chat if you can. Thank you very much. Sometimes he refers to himself as a lolicon Lerix. I only joke about. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, if you can roll with it, then, you know, I don't really say that. Full props to Lerix on this, because it's just like fucking kind of retarded to take these accusations seriously. Like, no one's ever getting arrested for watching this show. Nothing bad's ever happening to you for watching this show. Most guys who are into anime have probably watched a show somewhat like this at some point. It's not particularly out of the ordinary. It's just sort of, you know, you can say it's bad. Sure. I might even agree. I'm not a massive fan of it personally. I don't particularly care. Probably bad. It's probably bad, but I just don't really care. And, you know, I wouldn't want to ban it, probably. Something like this, at least. I jacked to Spy X Family, but at least it felt bad. You know, I'm suspect of people that are big into Spy X Family. You know, that show, that show and its fans give me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. Give me the creeps and shivers down my spine. Why are they so obsessed with having a daughter? Why does that fantasy appeal to them so much? What's going on there? It's a bit like Leon the Professional, but without any of the criticism of the dynamic, you know? Like a less nuanced, less interesting Leon the Professional. That's what Spy X Family is. Let's be real. Anyway, I should get back into this video. I've been talking for way too long. Okay.
They become step-siblings after the death of Masamune's mom's death, and his dad ends up remarrying Sagiri's mom, who conveniently, she then goes to die on their honeymoon trip. Weird coincidence there, buddy. Both wives of his just disappeared and died, but after this tragic incident, Sagiri becomes a complete shut-in and locks herself into her room for a whole year without even opening the door to interact with anyone. Bro would literally rather starve to death than go out of her room to get some food herself. But I promise there is substance, and this isn't just an incest romance between these two motherfuckers. Masamune is a light novel author who has a secret artist who he's been doing business with for years, but he's never interacted with them on a personal basis, let alone even knowing what they look like. Where, of course, this—
I mean, I super struggle to fucking care about an incest storyline when, like, isn't step-sibling porn somewhere like the highest traffic on Pornhub or some shit, right? Isn't that a thing? And then you go on Twitch and it's like, all these e-whores have their titles set to like, what is it? Like, oh, please help me, step bro. You know. Shit like that. And you want me to care that there's some anime about step siblings fucking? Alright, dude. Okay. Okay.
Artist ended up being his stepsister, who goes by the alias of Iramanga Sensei, which is extra weird because she mainly draws lewd, borderline porn shit, which I know is so goofy and silly to have a 13-year-old be interested in sexual shit. Right, guys? Right? What was this author thinking, dude? This is the type of shit I mean when I say it's impossible to defend this show, and this is only the beginning. But if you do strip away the weird, sus, romantic side to Masamune's relationship with Sagiri, which I know may be very hard, but when viewing it from strictly a platonic standpoint, there's so many wholesome encounters between the two that can't help to make you smile, and seeing Sagiri slowly come out of her shell and opening up to society after a tragic incident happened to her is just, call me cringe, but it's just so wholesome to watch.
What do you fucking get?
And it's so frustrating too because a lot of the great romance tropes are done.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of cringy, I guess. Yeah, Lerix is kind of cringy. Lolicon Lerix is a bit cringe. Is that is this really all it is? Is this the whole review? Does not say anything worse than what he said already?
So well in this show that I've only seen a few other romance anime do this good, but it's all tainted with the weird ass sibling shit. Like for example, some of the scenes are in episode 4, Masamune and Sagiri run into a conflict with each of them feeling like they're gonna get replaced by each other, and that in general they aren't good enough to work with the other, with Sagiri not being confident in her art and Masamune with his writing. And this gets amplified when Elf comes into the picture. Yes, Elf is her name. But this is because Elf is a more successful author than Masamune, and she—
Listen, my biggest criticism of Lerix right now is just being such a total pussy with this video. Guys, sexualizing kids bad, to preface his, wow, I really like this show, guys. It's really wholesome and cute. It just really made me feel less alone. Like, bro, just make a cringe fucking video sucking off your lolicon anime. Alright, dude, don't preface it with all this, oh, actually, sexualizing kids is bad, guys. It clearly hasn't helped you. Clearly no one cared about that bit. So just fucking say it with your full chest. Say you like the show. Say you like the fantasy of having this relationship with this little girl. Just say it. Nobody cares, bro. All weebs are like this. Nobody cares. It's fine. People who are going to go at you for this are going to go at you for this either way. You don't need to give the preface in. Okay. He should say he likes the show and encourages viewers to watch it. Yes, true. He should. He should. True.
Wanted to work with Aramanga Sensei for her new story, but Sagiri didn't know this, and when she noticed that he was spending a lot of time with this new person, she thought Elf was a new artist. So each of them grew insecure that they were going to work with someone else and ditch the other person. But eventually both shared their perspective on how they were feeling to make for this wholesome scene where they both tell each other how valuable and important they are in each other's life and work, where they wouldn't choose anyone else instead. Which this is a big insecurity I'm sure most of the world eventually goes through at one point in their life. Whether it's not being sure their work is good enough for the job they're working at and being let off, or just even more generally not being good enough for someone else who you value in high regard. So to see them come together like this to clear any built up—
God, this is such a gay video, man, isn't it? This is such a gay video. Lerix, this one was a miss, bro. Holy. We did not need the 20-minute sucking off session of some of the anime.
Doubts is a great moment. And in episode 7, this gets topped with the duo facing a bigger conflict where they have to beat a popular author Muramasa in a writing competition where the odds are—
Listen, dude, just watch Welcome to the NHK. I guarantee you it was better than this. I guarantee you Welcome to the NHK is better and less pedophilic than this show.
Are greatly stacked against them, and Muramasa actually offers Masamune to just work under her instead of taking this big risk facing off against her. And he seemingly thinks about it a little bit in the moment and lets doubt seep into his mind that he probably will lose, but Sagiri makes his decision for him by interrupting, shouting how far they both come together and that they won't lose to her, giving Masamune the newfound confidence to turn her down and to get back working. And it's just so wholesome to see how dedicated each of them are to overcoming whatever obstacle comes in the way, no matter how difficult it may be. And a smaller little scene, but just as good, is in episode 11, when before Masamune gets back from his trip, Sagiri is shown practicing how she's gonna welcome him. Now granted, this kind of gets ruined because they do flash like some panty shots, and yeah, yeah, but ignoring that, this is a base scene, okay? And it may seem like nothing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Lerix, what you doing, bro? But honestly, the worst part of this video is just how fucking gay it is. Jesus.
But we're talking about a Hall of—
I honestly would have more respect for this video if he just said, you know, actually, you know what? I like the chop. You know, I would have way more respect for it. But walking this line where he's like, well, actually, you know, the panty shots really ruined the dramatic moment of this scene. It's like, okay, dude.
Fame Knee Tier, who didn't come out of her room for a year. So welcoming someone like this is a big, it's a big step. And lastly, in episode 12, seeing Sagiri's progress and coming out of her shell, with her not only spending time and hanging out with her friends, but also with this last goodbye scene where she waves as Elf and Muramasa leaves, is depression curing. This is gold. But as you can see, there's some prime time. Man, it's so hard to talk about these things without sounding cringe. So as you can see, there's prime time wholesome moments throughout this.
Okay, I'm kind of baffled by what Jeremy says show. This is pure pathos. Listen, okay. As someone who does not watch gay, slice of life, romance, anime, lolicon bullshit, okay, I will try and make the argument for them. As someone with no emotional stake in it. I'm not. That's not a lie. It's not a lie. That's true. It's just true. I just don't watch this shit. Okay. Listen. Look. Listen. Listen. I think a lot of these lonely young men get very invested in the emotional beats and storylines of these shows. I think they do overlook it. They may not particularly enjoy the child sexualization, but ultimately they can overlook it because the girls are generally of a sort of ambiguous age. There's not really a whole lot of different, like, you know, it's different when there's a sort of teenage character in anime versus a teenager in real life. It's a lot more difficult to tell the signs of age on like a blank 2D sort of like Barbie doll, Ken doll sort of physique, right? So it's easier to overlook it. And so they just sort of watch it for like this weird emotional comfort they get from watching someone have some, you know, little cute relationship with some innocent girl, basically. I think is the feeling they get out of it. Personally, I watch anime about dudes punching each other and self-improvement because I'm not gay and don't have some massive hole in my basic needs where I don't feel loved by anyone around me and have to watch anime to feel that way. Personally, that's me personally. However, I don't think that the only reason someone would watch this show is because they're attracted to children. How old is this video? I've got no idea. I don't watch anime for jacking it. I'm not jacking it to Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not jacking it to Bleach. I'm not jacking it to Code Geass. That's even more cringe being 30 months ago. That's what I'm saying. I would respect pedophilia more than like the average viewer of a slice of life anime. I respect pedophiles more than the average romance anime enjoyer. Just fuck kids, bro. just get it over with. Stop bullshitting around, you know. Oh man. Okay, let's carry on.
Story that remain untainted, but what puts this story in such high regard, in my opinion, though, is the development between the dynamic of the two that takes place at the end of the story. Where in episode 11, we get a flashback of how Masamune started writing and how Sagiri started drawing, and this was because tragic events had happened to each of them at this time, with Masamune's mother dying and Sagiri's parents getting divorced. So each of them needed a way to...
Thank you for the $4.99 for the New Year's Fund Butters. Thank you very much.
escape or find a new meaning, in a sense, to life, something to save them. Where Masamune picked up writing, and one of his first fans was Sagiri, who would read his stories and comment, giving her thoughts, which went on for quite some time until the end of Masamune's first series. And to congratulate him, Sagiri drew this picture for him, giving him a sense of fulfillment he never had experienced before. There's someone out there who actually appreciates his work. Which leads to my favorite scene, where after some time passes,
when is the SSD order?
Sagiri,
probably mid-January, probably around the 11th, I'd say.
If she likes drawing just in general, with her responding that she likes it because there's someone who gets happy with what she draws. And Masamune says the same thing when the question gets reversed to him, that he gets joy out of writing because there's someone out there who reads it and likes it. And understanding that aspect of life and being able to introspect that much to realize why exactly people do the things they do is so interesting and something I completely didn't expect a story like this to cover. So
Butters super chatted $4.99. New Year's fund.
Always for others and the perception they want to give to others. And it's truly a hard question to answer on if you actually like or enjoy the things you do in life. Usually it's just the responses that you get for doing these things. Like, ask yourself right now, do you enjoy playing video games, sports, or watching TV shows? And it's actually hard to think about why you like doing these things. But to see some honest commentary on this aspect of life, I think is so important, because to dig deeper on why you do the things you do is essential, and I think everyone
this is just so gay. This is like, but this is what these anime video essays are like. I don't know how many people here actually watch like anime video essays. Occasionally I stumble upon one, and they're all like exactly like this. This is exactly what My Little Pony fans sound like. It's uncanny. I think I would agree. This is like Brony talk, 100%. So it is very cringe. I just don't think he's a pedophile. I think calling him a pedophile is fucking retarded. It's just more of the cringe commentary community pedo hunting, I feel. Just be a pedo of the week. Come to Crucify. And this week it's Lerix. The Lerix had it before, so I mean, I'm sure he's used to it at this point.
In this case, it was the fulfillment and validation they both got from each other's positive response to the stories and art that they made for each other. Because seeing someone else enjoy the thing that they made filled the hole that both of them had in their life and allowed them to keep on going. But, yeah, that's it for the good parts of the show, and I'm afraid this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The horrible shit that ruins this show. So, as I briefly touched on at the beginning of the video, fan service is one thing, where usually it's set aside from any plot points and just simply there to add in that horny appeal.
Is that really people calling him a pedophile, even though the whole second half of this video is just going to be him crying about the fact that there's fucking some little girl's panties in it? Is that really? And we're calling him a pedophile for this? When is this really gonna be half a video?
Draw in even more viewers. And fan service already isn't my thing, but in Eromanga Sensei, this is level 99 boss fan service, where it literally is ingrained in the plot and deadass the whole premise to a ridiculous amount of scenes, which, unlike normal fan service, makes it literally impossible to brush off and ignore. Like with Sagiri being an artist who draws lewd shit as her job, working for Masamune is just fucked from the start, because literally the premise of the main character is a 13-year-old who draws lewd shit. What is going on? And also the fact that she can only draw things she's seen in real life, leading to her getting the characters to show their panties. Like, bro, this is straight up plot points. This isn't even just fan service. But let's take a deep dive into this. Starting at the first episode, when Sagiri forgets to turn off her live stream after she's done drawing, she starts to take off her clothes, of course, but, you know, at least it isn't as bad as some real life cases of this. But the scene was supposed to be a quirky way of getting Masamune and Sagiri to first interact with each other after a year of her shutting herself in her room, with Masamune watching the stream and rushing to pound on her door to warn her of the deadly sin she's about to commit on stream. But dude, there isn't a more clever way or a different way to go about writing this scenario. Like, this was so unnecessary since there was already a good reason to cause this interaction written into the story, which was as Masamune was watching Sagiri stream.
Okay, like, dude, What are we doing here? Well, there were way better ways to write this scene where he busts in on a naked woman. There were way better ways to organize this this plot point, to work this plot point into the story. Dude, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Noticed that she was Eromanga Sensei, his artist, all along. So why write in an additional weird-ass scene of a 13-year-old about to undress on stream, when you still got the same idea across, where Masamune would still rush to his sister's room in shock and surprise that she was his artist all along? You don't need to add in the horny aspect here, dude. But as you're gonna tell, the question of just why will keep coming up.
Is this better or worse than that fat neckbeard who reviews Sam and Cat and iCarly? You mean Quinton reviews? I don't mind Quinton's old videos. It used to be okay. He's made some good videos. I'd say this is probably worse. This is worse. Because Quinton made some kind of good videos, and he never like tried to make the iCarly shit deeper than it was, I feel. But this is sort of this hardcore filleting of this gay little slice of life anime is just very overwrought and cringe. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. It's an old video. Lerix doesn't make content like this anymore. He's clearly he's a changed man. He's through the cringe. If you like Leon the Professional, you are a pedophile. That's just not true. That's not true, and that's a base movie. It's an amazing movie. That's definitely in top 50. Definitely in top 50. 100%. Maybe in top 25. Based movie. Anyway.
With each of these scenes. Like in episode 2, Sagiri's classmate Megumi comes to check on her because she isn't going to school, but dead ass, randomly mid-conversation, she just drops this. Yeah, and if you're looking for more context, not even the FBI can help you with that, pal. Just why? This is seriously the best way you can think as a writer to add in a quirky moment or scene. This is worse than Meliodas' little quirk of very normal behavior like this. And keep in mind, hey man, I know culture is different over there in Japan and all, but man, all I'm saying is I can't imagine writing a scene with 12-year-olds talking about dick without expecting a call from Chris Hansen.
Should you have a seat over in that chair, please?
And even in the same conversation, just casually, Masamune drops this.
Okay, can we be real though? People act like this never happens in like any Western media. Doesn't like doesn't that book literally have a underage gangbang in the sewers or some shit? Isn't that a thing? It's not like this shit never happens in any Western fiction. It's an adult book, so this is an adult show. It's not. This isn't aimed at kids. Like rated with like mature themes or whatever the fuck. You're not supposed to show this to 10-year-olds. Child gangbangs were all the rage in the 80s, says Fetal Pathos. Okay. Supposed to be seen as a bad thing, right? I don't know, I haven't read it. I haven't even seen the movies, actually. Doesn't appear like an adult show to me. There are even adult characters in it. No, but it's not like it doesn't mean anything. If a show is like rated, if it's got like, you know, if you release a movie that's rated 18 or rated adult only, it's shown at whatever specific times of day on TV it's meant to be shown at when it's got that rating. You can't then go, it's a kid's show. Can you? Anyway.
Like, bro, are we just gonna act like that's normal dialogue? No one's gonna question that? Okay. And do I even have to try and think of a charitable, decent reason why there was a scene of Elf just chilling ass naked playing piano in episode 3? And quick check again, yeah, not any better, Chief. Like, giving the author the best faith to why he wrote this. I mean, all I could think of is that he wanted to show off Elf's...
Jesus.
Yeah, fuck it, bro, I got nothing. Skipping to the next episode, though, Sagiri says to Masamune that she can only draw things she's seen in real life, where Masamune thinks back to the type of shit she's drawn before, making him wonder of some very normal thoughts like this. And the anime decides to bring to life these thoughts with what feels like an illegal scene of her changing into some string.
Jesus Christ, bro.
I'm gonna jump off my apartment building, bro. It's just disturbing. Like, just no reason for this to be in. But in episode 5, there's another changing Sagiri scene, and Elf is showing her panties to Sagiri, but don't worry guys, it's okay. It's not weird, I swear, because Sagiri needs to see them to take her artistry skill to the next level. Ayo! Unironically, for research purposes. And as I said before, this is just the plot in the story at the time, with Sagiri hitting a wall on drawing and needing new inspiration to take her drawings for Masamune to the next level, resulting in her seeking out bitch's panties. This is basically the training arc of the show, but instead of spending time refining, honing your new abilities, you're just sexually harassing girls. Truly the Giga Chad path, young Padawan. Oh yeah, and you can't forget the random-ass naked bath scene of Megumi at the end of this episode. Like, why would you as an author write in a scene of a 12-year-old doing quite literally anything else when you can write in them taking a nice warm wash? Very normal behavior. And in episode 6, when Megumi comes over to continue the Sigma grind set of Sagiri, she just takes off her panties, just straight up. But by far, the worst of the worst is absolutely held for the last episode.
So, literally half this video is him bitching about the sexualization elements. And we're calling this guy a pedophile? Okay, dude. Okay, dude.
Episodes, even though they have full beach trip classic anime trope episodes where, yeah, you get the classic lotion on back, bath scenes, the whole 9, but in episode 12, to get even more research, Sagiri forces Elf and Muramasa to play a fun, wholesome game of Twister in some very safe-for-work bikinis to get the most pristine inspiration for her artwork.
Whoever created this anime is definitely a pedo, lol. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily. They could have done it for money. I would say, I would definitely be... I'm more suspect of this, of people who like this anime than I was when I started watching this video, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize quite how, excessive. What do you reckon the furthest you can go without being nonsense? What do you mean by that? What the fuck do you mean by that? I'm almost worried to answer. How do you manage to write that line? I'd say 16, Naga.
Like, man, I just can't. I can't imagine the motherfucker who'd write this. And later on, Sagiri gets inspired to draw a porn manga for some reason. Don't ask the context. I don't even want to explain. But she goes on to draw a few scenes, and of course, as you do, have your friends review it. And apparently, she draws the dick weird or wrong. And Masamune comments that it's not the way it's supposed to look, causing them to go on an expedition.
Naga likes to push the risk right down to 14. Yeah, he's a... he lives life on the edge, okay?
Find out what a dick looks like. Yeah, they haven't got any older, in case you were wondering. I was really hoping. And eventually the girls start stripping Masamune to see what his dick looks like. I need a fucking shower after this. And just like that, the anime ends. So, in conclusion, Eromanga Sensei is an anime with some of the biggest potential wasted on absolutely the dumbest shit in the world, with unique and captivating plot lines to wholesome encounters throughout the whole story. This could have been a 9 out of 10 anime, easily for me, if you strip away all the sus bullshit with the sibling romance and just pointless fan service scenes. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, this anime for pedophiles would be almost perfect if it weren't for the pedophilia.
So disappointed, but yeah, see you guys next time.
Dude, the core concept of the show is about children drawing porn. He's like, oh, right, if they just took all the pedophilic elements out of this, it'd be a good show. All right, buddy. Dude, this is what I mean. I just respect it more if he was just like, you know what? I like it. I like the pedophilic shit. Then you get the Mr. Girl treatment. You get black bagged by the commentary community.